My jealous sister told my husband I was cheating because her own marriage was falling apart. Last night I found messages proving her husband was sleeping with their neighbor, so I forwarded everything to her entire family before she could tell them otherwise. But my sister, 34F, has always tried to one-up me, 32F, since we were kids, but falsely telling my husband I was having an affair crossed every possible line. For context, things between my sister and her husband had been visibly deteriorating for months. Whenever we had family gatherings, they'd either ignore each other completely or exchange these icy passive-aggressive comments that made everyone uncomfortable. Meanwhile, my husband and I had worked through some rough patches last year and were actually doing really well. Nothing fancy, just weekend trips and date nights that occasionally made it to social media. About 3 weeks ago, my husband came home looking like someone had died. He sat me down at our kitchen table and just stared at his phone for a minute before asking if there was anything I needed to tell him. When I said no, he showed me his text with my sister where she claimed she'd spotted me getting handsy with some mystery man at a restaurant downtown. She told him she'd been carrying this burden, but felt he deserved to know the truth. The mystery man was literally my gay coworker who's been happily married for 6 years and whom my sister has met multiple times. We were discussing a work project over lunch, and the handsy moment was probably me showing him pictures of the vacation my husband and I had just taken. But my sister conveniently left out these crucial details. When confronted, she gave this Oscar-worthy performance about how she was just looking out for family and couldn't bear to see him get hurt. She even fake cried to our parents about how I was attacking her for trying to help. Mom called me, suggesting I should be grateful someone's looking out for your marriage. I was livid, but decided to just avoid family gatherings rather than escalate things. Then last night happened. I was using an old iPad my sister had handed down to my daughter for school stuff. Edit, she'd given it to us months ago, claiming she'd reset it completely. Guess what? She hadn't. While helping my kid with homework, an iMessage notification popped up. Somehow the iPad was still connected to her account. The message preview was graphic, to say the least, and it wasn't from her husband. As I, admittedly, dug deeper, I discovered a year-long affair between her husband and their neighbor, complete with explicit photos, hotel receipts, and detailed meetup schedules. What really got me was a message exchange from right around when she accused me of cheating. Her husband had texted about feeling guilty and maybe coming clean about everything. Her response? I'll create a distraction so everyone's focused elsewhere. Don't worry about it. I was the freaking distraction. She threw my marriage under the bus to save her own. I took screenshots of everything, especially the parts discussing using me as their scapegoat. I considered confronting her privately, but remembered how she'd turned the entire family against me. So I made a different choice. This morning, I compiled everything into a neatly organized PDF with dates and highlighted sections showing their affair timeline and their distraction plan. Then I sent it to our parents, our brother, her in-laws, and our closest family friends with a simple message. Found this on the iPad you gave my daughter. Thought you should all know who's actually cheating before jumping to conclusions again. Edit. Several people have asked if this was too harsh on her husband. The texts clearly showed he was fully aware of and supportive of the plan to use me as their cover story. Plus, he'd actually brought the neighbor to family barbecues as his work friend multiple times. The audacity of these people. The fallout was immediate and glorious. My phone blew up with messages. My sister called screaming about privacy invasion. Mom called in tears apologizing for believing her. The neighbor's husband, who also received my evidence package, apparently showed up at their house for a confrontation. By evening, my sister's husband had been kicked out and was reportedly sleeping in his car. You should have talked to me privately first, my sister texted after everything exploded. I just blocked her.